What's up? Welcome back to Off-Road Diesel. Sorry it's been a while since I posted any videos. The weather has been absolutely crazy around here lately. It's like 70 degrees one minute and then like negative 35 below wind chill the next, and then we just had 5 inches of snow. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy weather around here lately to do anything really. So got a bunch of stuff on back ordered. You know how that is right now, trying to order anything kind of sucks. So we got a bunch of stuff coming, and we got more videos coming. If you like this video, hit that like button or drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. And at the beginning, you probably seen the hood light. The hood light is like super dim and just don't do the job for me. Not enough light. If you're out on a trail or overlanding or something like that, and it's just pitch black out at night and you're having to jump a vehicle off or something, or do work underneath the hood, or do anything really, there's just not enough light with that little tiny hood light. So I went down to my local Harbor Freight store and picked up 2 of these rock lights. It's 320 looms each, so I think that'll get the job done pretty well. So today we're actually going to install these 2 rock lights underneath the hood and hook it up to a rocker switch underneath the hood. So as soon as you pop the hood, you can hit the switch and it'll turn the lights on right there for you, and have a lot more light to do whatever you need to be doing underneath the hood. So today we're actually going to install these bad boys, and I'm going to take you step by step on how I installed it on my truck. Let's get to it. I had to put a flannel on because it's starting to get cold out here. Wind is like howling here. It's crazy. So you're gonna get you one of these molding tools here. I got like a pack of these for hardly nothing at Harbor Freight, and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect our hood light and go ahead and pop these clips out for the wire for the hood light. So we're just gonna take our little flathead screwdriver and then just pry up on this gently and then push up on it. The bulb was hot. Clips here off. They're kind of just like a little zip tie clip. So this plunger switch here is for the hood ajar, and I was thinking that I could hook the LED lights to this switch, and was thinking when it's compressed they would be off, and then when the hood is open it would turn on. But this switch is actually backwards. So when it's out like this, there's no power coming out. Only power coming out is when it's compressed. So I went down to my local O'Reilly store and picked up a rocker switch. So when I bought the plunger switch from the Ford dealership, it actually came with the metal bracket, which is kind of cool. So you can actually get these off of Amazon, just a bracket, and it's just called the hood ajar bracket, and I'll put that down below in the script. So we're actually going to take this, and this one here with my rocker switch, I had to grind the hole out just a hair bigger so my rocker switch would actually fit, and then I just took some black paint and went around the hole a little bit so it won't rust. So we're actually going to just take this bolt, let me find it. So we're going to take this bolt here out, and that's where we're going to mount our bracket on. This is a 10mm bolt. So now we're just going to take our 10mm ratchet wrench, and then we're just going to take this bolt here out. this side here goes towards the back of the truck, and then this side here goes to the front of the truck. And now we're just going to take our bracket and bolt it on here, take the bolt that came out of the truck, and then we're just going to put it right back in. So the hood light that we just took off, the wires that runs up to the hood light, the wires are actually long enough to run right up to the bracket that we just got done installing for our rocker switch. So it's actually really nice that we don't have to add any extra wires to the wires that's already here. All we have to do is just hook it up to the rocker switch, which is really nice. So the wires will actually fit down beside the fender here and run right up to our rocker switch that we're going to install now. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to add any extra wires. The only wire we will have to add will be the one wire from the switch all the way up to the LED lights. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the plug off of the two wires. There's a yellow one here that has a green line on it. That one's your positive. And then the black one is just a solid black wire, and then that's your negative. So now that we got the plug cut away from the wires, now we're just going to take and strip these wires down just a little bit and go ahead and put our connectors on there that will connect to the rocker switch. So with this one, I'm just going to use a blue one for my ground, and I'm going to use a red one for the hot side. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some heat shrink and we're going to go ahead and put it on the connectors, and then go ahead and wrap all this up, clean it up. So I went down to my local Home Depot store and picked up this roll of red wire, and then I went ahead and put a connector on there with some heat shrink. This one here will hook to the rocker switch also. This wire will run up to the LED lights on the hood, and then this will power the lights. So now that we have our switch, this is a switch I got this one down at O'Reilly's. I kind of like this switch because it's a little bit flatter, a little bit low pro. So if you're up here working, you're not going to be hitting it all the time with your knee or anything like that. A lot of these come with different colored posts. This one here just came with all the same color posts, but they just have a sticker on there. The middle one is your load. So that one will be your constant power going into the switch. And then the one that says power, that one's here on the end. That one will run the red wire all the way up to the rock lights, and then the ground is down here at the end. So now we can just go ahead and put our switch into the metal bracket. So now we got our rocker switch installed in our bracket. I installed mine so when you turn it on, it will be towards the front, and then when you want it off, it's towards the back. So when it's on, then you'll be able to see the little blue light. So now that we got our rocker switch installed, bracket in, and got our wires connected to the rocker switch, now we're just gonna tuck all these wires away and go ahead and run the wires up into the hood and then where we're gonna be running the lights at. So with this little red wire here, we're gonna actually run it through the fender wall here and up, and then we're gonna run it to the back of this hole here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a pretty good sized hole in the hood here, and it will run up to our LED lights, and it will actually stay down in this pocket a little bit better than the original wires, and it kind of hide the wires a little bit better. So we're just going to take this wire. There's actually a little hole down in here, and I'll show it to you, that I'll just run the wire through and it will come out inside the emblem here on the side of the fender. So it's really hard to see, but that hole is like right here. So I actually couldn't run the wire up in that hole, trying to go uphill with the wire. So I took some parachute cord and I tied a little nut on it and just kind of fed it down here, and I just kept shaking it like that, and the nut actually finally fell out the bottom of this hole, so it worked out pretty good. So now I'm just going to take this wire, tie it onto my parachute cord here, and then pull it out the top. So now that we got our wire ran up to the top where we're going to be mounting our rock lights, you're going to get you one of these blankets here, these work blankets. These things are super awesome. I use this thing for everything. If you get cold, they keep you warm too. So you can get these at Harbor Freight for hardly nothing. They got them different sizes and colors and stuff like that. We'll be drilling some holes up in the hood for our screws and wires for our rock lights. And so we're just going to take this and throw it over our motor so we don't get no metal shavings down on top of our motor. So in your packet of your rock lights that you'll be buying, they send you two different types of these rubber pieces here. One will have a half moon shape in it for mounting on a pipe, and then the other one will be flat. We will not be using these for our rock lights up on the hood because it will make the rock light sit too far away from the hood, and it will be forcing it into the top of our radiator. So we're actually just going to use this for our pattern for our holes. We're to mark and drill our holes at for our rock lights. So you're just going to use the flat one here, and then where the wire comes out of the back of the rock light, you're going to want to use the top middle hole to mark for your wire for your rock light, because it's going to have to sit as flat as possible to the hood for mounting. There's a line here and then one here. We're just going to mount it on the back side in between these two lines, because on the other side is the same exact thing. So to actually get the rock lights in the right place on each side, we're just going to put them right between these two here. And so then it would actually be even lighting on each side of the truck. So I'm actually just going to take one of these drill bits and my drill, and I'm going to use this to drill the holes for the wire, and I'm just going to take it up to 3/8 so it'll be a little bit bigger, so the wire has a little bit more playing room. So I'm just going to use this to drill the top hole on each side for the wire. Battery dead. Good to go now. So now that we have all of our holes drilled to mount our LED rock lights, this is the reason why I said to use the top hole for the rock lights, is because the wire comes out of the top, not in the middle. So if you put your hole in the middle of the rubber piece to mark your holes, it will be off when you go to mount your rock light. So make sure you use that top hole to mark your pattern to drill your holes. It's really nice having this blanket because you can just set stuff on top of the blanket as you're working, and if you drop a screw or a bolt, you don't have to worry about trying to dig it out of this motor. And there's a lot of metal shavings on top of this blanket. So I'm actually just using the screws that they sent in the package. Later on I'll probably wind up just putting some pop rivets in this. So if you have pop rivets, you can just pop rivet it on there, but I'm just going to use the Phillips screws that they sent in the package. Cool. One down and one more to go. So now we're just going to move on to the other side and go ahead and install that rock light. So I forgot to mention too, when you drill the holes in your hood, if you have a steel hood, you would want to get some of this Rust-Oleum automotive paint. It just has like a little paintbrush on the inside. And if you have a steel hood, when you drill the holes, just take a little bit of this paint. You can just get whatever color you want and just go around the holes that you drilled just so they don't rust. And if you have aluminum hood, you won't have to worry about it. So I just basically just took this bolt out, and then I just put a connector on there and put the two ground wires into the connector. And the connector is the one that has just a circle with a hole in it, and I just put it behind the bracket itself and put the bolt through there and tighten it all down. And then you can just tuck the wires down behind inside the hood, so when the hood latches, it's not gonna hit the wires at all. Original wires running up to the original hood light, those wires are actually on a timer. So I think it was like around 10 minutes and you would lose power going to those wires. So it works out really nice, because if you forget to turn the switch off for your lights and you close the hood and walk in the house or something, or go do something else, after 10 minutes the lights will actually shut off on their own because those wires run into a timer. So which is actually really nice and really helpful in a time. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So actually turned out really nice. So now I'm just gonna kill the light real quick and turn on the switch and show you what it looks like. It's gonna be pretty awesome. no more wires running up to the old hood light. So now you actually have the wire tucked down inside the fender running up to the hood. And then we just have our little rocker switch here. So now you can just turn it off and on. Works out pretty awesome. And it's really nice having the rock lights, one on each side, because now you actually get even light all the way across your engine bay. With the original hood light, you only have a little bit of light here at the one corner on the driver's side, but with the two rock lights you actually have even lighting all the way across, which works out really nice, because now when you need to do something over here, you actually have a lot more light to do whatever you need to do. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hit that like button, drop a comment down below, tell me what you think of installing these two rock lights underneath the hood. These things give off so much more light than the original hood light. So now when you're out on the trail or overlanding with your buddies and something happens and you need more light underneath the hood to do whatever you need to do, these things right here will help you out a lot. It's nice having even light all the way across the hood now and having more light on the passenger side. Super easy to install and super cheap to buy all this. You can get everything on Harbor Freight, or you can get these lights off of Amazon too. So drop a comment down below, tell me what you think, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Gonna have more videos coming your way, and got a lot more cool stuff like this coming. Thanks for watching Off-Road Diesel. Bye.